This question is very controversial. They say that this bike looks like the Sika, maybe because I posted the Sika video first. Yes. And I have to say, because I unboxed the Sika from Jack, the bike doctors, it looks 100% the same.
Yes, yes.
And I think Factor first came out with this, then only Sika, right?
Yeah.
So I won't go any further. You all make your own judgment. What do you think of that? That people think your bike looks like a Sika. Why don't you just get a Sika while you get a Factor Austro?
Because I...
Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm here with George and a Factor Austro VAM. You guys have a lot of questions on this bike because last time I filmed a black Sika. George, thank you so much for coming after your Sentosa ride.
Thank you.
Can you please introduce yourself and tell us about your bike, please?
Okay, I'm George. This is my bike Austro, size 54. Okay, the component wise is dual is 12 speed, then wheel wise is Princeton 6560. Saddle is a Sara Italia carbon wheel, and that's all about it. The chain ring and the thing is 52, 34. 52, 36, and 11, 30. That's a thing.
The latest Dura is
the latest
11 speed.
Pedal wise is
Favero
power meter.
Right. This is a 2021.
2022 color.
And you bought it from One Bike lah.
Yes.
They are the sole distributor, right?
No, they are not. They are agent.
Oh, agent. Okay.
The distributor in Singapore is RS Works.
RS Works. Okay.
Yeah.
But in terms of price, is the same, is it?
Price is the same, yes.
Can I know how much is this bike?
This bike total setup probably about 16,
okay.
16, 17.
So you bought the frame first and then you slowly upgraded, or this is when you first went to the shop, you bought it like that?
Before that, I have a team machine, BMC team machine and time machine, both. This wheel is from a time machine. So beside this, the group set is new. That's it.
And what is this bike size and what is your height?
This is a 54. I'm 177.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this the right size for you? Do you go for a bike fit?
I did my bike fit many years ago, then continue. All the while I've been riding this 54, 53, this range of bike for many years. Yeah, okay. So it should be from Doc Pina, from BMC, Factor, all these, all are about 54 size. Yes.
Okay. So you didn't go for bike fit lah?
I did. Before that, because I already riding a 54. Before that, I did a bike fit about 2015. That time when I was riding a F8.
Yeah. Actually, you have a question for me about bike fitting, right?
Yes. I think you do believe in bike fit, right? Only thing that you think that the price is too high at this moment for everything that, because is it that true?
Yeah, so I think in my previous videos I always keep talking about I don't believe in the bike fit and stuff. Just that I don't believe in the price lah. Because I said I was telling you just now, I was a bit old school. When I first started cycling, bike fitting was not a norm. Not like today, every bike shop has bike fitting services. And my style was I bought different bike sizes and then different stems and handlebars. So it was a very long process. Even until today, I'm still adjusting my saddle and everything, right? Because I think as the bike is not, will keep changing. Your position will keep changing. So I am also always constantly changing. But I mean, if you are a new cyclist now, that bike fitting is available everywhere, very convenient. But it's just the price that you have to pay lah. You're saying just now it goes up to $1,000, right?
Yes, definitely. Okay, so just like you tell me, did I go for bike fit before this? You and me about the same, is because when you started riding, there's no way of bike fit. And if you ask some of the old timer, old shop owner, all these things, they tell you don't need bike fit, all these things basically, because you already know what is your size roughly. So that is important, because we start with no bike fit. So that's why I tell you all the while, 53, 54 different, because different manufacturer, the geometry different, the trail different, everything different. Even if the same 54 of different brand will be different.
Correct.
In a way. Correct. So that's why that you already roughly know your size. So in general, you don't need to go for a first bike fit because you already know your size 53. Then you start to do minor adjustment. Actually, but what you said very true. If you're a beginner, you just want to ride, you don't know what's your size or thing, prefer you go for a bike fit because you don't know what exactly your size.
Yeah.
And our geometry is different. A lot of people, actually, honestly, you say that if you are just started for road bike, the so-called the performance race bike geometry in general, you will see that your stack will be very high because you are just started riding. And you buy an endurance bike geometry, really will suit you better because you have just started. Because once you ride for a while, your muscle adapt to it, everything training adapt to it, then you will start to see. That's why that technically you tell bike fitter, they will tell you that a good bike fitter will tell you that it's 2 feet. First feet you go and ride 500 to 1,000, you come back, then we do adjustment. Then technically they will tell you, self business what they tell you, after a while, 1-2 years, you should do a fit again. You want to, because it's true. Yeah, you right. After a while, 6 months, you will say that, I want to adjust a bit because now I feel that this camera, I want some more performance. I want to jog a bit more. See whether cannot. So this is what you do.
Correct.
And the bike fit give you is because it's a database one. It's very scientific approach. That's all. That is the thing that But if after a while, I'm very surprised that I did a bike fit after this because the ID match, ID match machine just came. So I tell you, I go for bike fit. Then I go and try ID match because I want to try the new machine. So eventually I go in, they tell me you are the no worth one because the $600 you pay, you only adjust 5 mm in front, 5 mm on top, and very fast. I can do it half an hour because you don't need much. It's just to, I think the fit also worthwhile is because it's confirmed that I'm correct. That's all.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. You are correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is what a bike fit for. That's why if you tell me what, for me very fast one. They put in there, half an hour finish.
Yeah.
And it's a basic. Actually, bike fit is about very scientific approach. And for us, it's based on our old experience that we have been riding. Before that, no bike fit. Roughly, it's there already. If you give you a bike, you just have to adjust a bit, 80 to 90%, you are optimum to that thing already. So it's that approach. It's just like my feet that my left right is same length, but my ball is about 1 cm different. So actually, this one push all the way to the back, and this one is slightly at the center, totally different. So these are the things that.
And you only found out this through a bike fit.
Yeah. Actually, you can see one, but sometimes you never realize that it's like that.
Okay.
So that's so I will still recommend that. But the price wise, whether worth it or not, it depends on just like this bike. You tell people 16,000. Oh, I got bike for 16,000. You are know what I mean? That's why I'm joking. I always tell my friend, hey, your car is 160,000. No?
Yeah.
So it's like that. Whether it's worth or not, the pricing is you get yourself.
I think it's just something like the power mirror. I always say very expensive power mirror, but people buy it because they say it solves their fitting problem.
Yes,
and
correct.
then, I mean, if it solves your problem, then of course by all means go for.
Yes,
but
correct.
like I said, for me, because my saddle works, I don't need a 3D printed power mirror or whatever.
Yeah, yes.
And I think bike fitting now is rather more popular or more important because now bikes are, the stem and handlebar all one piece already. You cannot change the handlebar, the stem length.
Especially
not like, last time you can change the longer stems and keep trying with different ones. Now it's a bit different.
If you really decided to buy a bike now and you are first time buying a bike, you don't know your size, or you are theoretically changing your bike, for a maybe mountain bike to a road bike, I suggest that you do a bike fit. But for you, I don't think that basic fit you need to go. Now, if you think of you want to go bike fit, it's your performance fit. That means you want to perform more. I want to see how much I can push myself into an aero position, how much I can adjust my saddle that I optimize all my muscle group to use. I adjust this for backward, I think 5 mm, increase 5 mm. The first, honestly, this I only fit about 1 month ago, but I only ride 2 weeks because COVID. So the first 2 weeks, all my muscle aching because you are using different loads. So after that, now I really feel that I'm more balanced in terms of using muscle. But all these are sensational feeling. But it definitely have effect. Whether it's towards worse or towards good, depends on whether bike fitter or not. But it definitely will change in a certain way.
So that's on bike fitting. Let's talk about the bike.
Other thing, I'm not. You can talk all over. Okay.
So Factor Austro Vamp.
Yes.
Why did you decide on this bike?
Oh, I decided on this bike. It's because actually riding is according to what your riding style and what kind of terrain and feature that you going. Like in Singapore, I think that right aero bike. At this trend, right aero bike is the way to go. And it's because Singapore have no crime or this thing. So aero, you will gain it. Because in Singapore, you're riding probably about 30 and above constantly. So the aero benefit will come into play. When you're going at higher speed, your aero benefit will gain more, you know. So that is because, so I think about that. And these are Austro vans, even your vans, right? It's a new design of aero bike. It's because before then, no aero bike will hit below 8 kg one, you know.
My bike still 8 kg.
Yeah, but 8 kg it's okay. As an aero bike, 8 kg. I tell you, if you talk about Singapore, on straight road TMCR, so far I ride the fastest right, is a time machine.
Time machine is a very heavy bike. The frame is
8.2
heavy.
kg.
Yeah.
My full bike setup with this wheel right, is 8.2 or 8.3 to 8.4 kg. But it's because once you get the moving, no stop right. So it's faster. When you come to climb, you'll feel a bit of effect. So it depends on what kind of terrain you ride. But at this trend now in Singapore, right, it's a light aero bike. Which is trend. So this is one of the light aero bike.
How heavy is this bike?
I think it's about set up with this wheel about 7.4 to 7.6.
Wow, that's quite light.
Okay lah.
Yeah. So coming from the time machine to this factor,
Yeah.
how is the experience? Is it very different?
It's very different. No? The difference is, this one, a lot of people will tell you, this is the aero bike. You ride like a normal all-rounder bike. Because it's easy to, pick up is much more easy because it's light. If climb is better, it's because it's light. And you come down, you still have the aero benefit. That's why the new trend is going towards that kind of bike.
And you matched it with Princeton 6560 with Chris King R45.
Yes.
Why a Princeton and why Chris King?
Princeton is because, actually honestly my bike I set up is based on which bike shop you go definitely. It's a trusted, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all these are from one by one. I always had to try new thing in the way. So this is the one that they sell, and it is also one of new technologies beside the Jeep NWS and this one, the wheel. And honestly, they tell me 6.5. Okay, also it's about the trending. So you will see the past 2 years. Last time when the 6.5, 60 mm wheel, it will never go below 1.61, right? But now 60 mm wheel, you can go about 1.5, 1.4, some even 1.4 with the hookless one. So actually it's the same that you're riding inherent weight of the last time 040 mm wheel. So that's why I tell people, now you are able to ride 10 mm higher is because the 10 mm 50 is the weight is the 040. So that's why you are able to ride this. And Chris King hub, why is a old habit. Because since the mountain bike time, we always use Chris King. And Chris King tends to be overbuilt in the way. But it's heavy. The hub is probably about 80 grams heavier than other lightweight.
But one thing different about the Chris King is the construction of the hub is very different from normal hubs. So they have the spline system and everything is very different. That's why I bought a Chris King because you say coming from mountain bike, it's like the gold standard for mountain bike. Chris King.
So actually the spine, it's different, but it's also the riding feeling. Actually in general, why we ride good or no good, actually unless you don't look at, even I have power, you don't look at power meter throughout, it's a feeling that you have. It will give you a very stable kind of feeling. The engagement also is don't have the freewheeling so much, that kind of engagement. So that's what Chris King are. And you tell me it will go faster or whatsoever, it's very it's smooth. Actually.
This Princeton 6560, right? Do you feel the wavy pattern makes any difference? A lot of people I interview who has these very popular wheels, right? They always tell me the crosswind, they cannot feel it, but I'm very skeptical.
Okay. Before that, I riding MV56. It's a 5862. Almost similar to this. Okay. This is a 6065. In TMCR, this one will feel less. I will not say never. It will feel less compared to it. Okay. So why a lot of people worry, I also worry about things is a sudden gust of wind came, you will suck. Especially roller, those containers go by you, when they bypass you, they create a vacuum, you will shift. But this one will give you a gentle thing. It's not like you stand beside people suddenly push you and slowly push you, that kind of feeling. But you tell me this one will not affect by crosswind. I said no. It will
Sure,
still
yeah,
affect
right.
by crosswind.
The fact that it's a deep wheel, so you
Yes,
you still feel
definitely,
it.
but it's less.
Yeah,
To me, I
less.
feel it's also agree that it's lesser.
Okay.
Ah.
And
Do you see the new DT new wheel?
there's a new wheel.
Yes.
DT Swiss.
DT Swiss.
What is it like this also?
It's something like this, but it's not waving pattern.
DT Swiss has just launched its latest wheels, the ERC 1100 and 1400.
Oh.
It's the we call it asymmetric. So the hook right is thicker, here is narrower. It's instead of last time it's V shape, right? Then this one is the U shape, right? They combine U followed by V.
Oh.
So they said that one will affect. Now everybody is talking about crosswind. Then that one is too more extreme. They say that even with that one, even side wind, they'll help you to push your bike faster. I don't know. I said if I side wind, my body will push me faster than my wheel push me because the wind come from the behind. Right?
I think all these are very marginal, very
Yes,
small
marginal
little things
gain.
that you shouldn't, be worried about.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so and then just now you're talking about these tubeless tires. You said this Kingston
this
has a
is the
new valve, right?
New type of valve. This is by 76. 76.
So it's not by
cycle.
Princeton.
No, not by Princeton. It's
Okay.
a new tubeless valve. The difference of this 76 is not the only one who came out this valve. A few brands it came out. The design is the valve is the hole is bigger. So the problem of the tubeless valve is because you need to put sealant. So sometimes sealant will choke up your valve hole. And because the valve hole is too small, so you cannot pump. You need to change. But this one they make it bigger in the way that you can see the hole there you can see bigger. So you can see it bigger, so it will less choke. So that is a new. Then they said that pumping volume will be higher because the hole is bigger. So it's easier to pump. That one I feel that if you are using high volume pump, can produce high volume at one shot one will benefit. If not, you still the same. Your output is still the same. Then your pump, the head is still produce same volume of output is still the same. But if you are using like canister, all this definitely will be faster because because
force,
at one time go the bus is faster. So the main advantage of this is to prevent the cords of the sealant.
Right. George, I would say that you are a old-time cyclist.
Yeah, I start from 90s.
90s, right? But the thing is, you look like a very young guy riding this, but your jersey is PNS, and then this is like the latest gadget that a young guy would buy. Still on the tires, my question is, you are running tubeless. So one of the discussions I had with my friends, they say I'm very old school because I'm still running clincher, and I pump my tires to 120 psi. What is your opinion on that?
Okay, I found that 120 is
Okay, not 110,
our time.
110 now.
110 is our time.
Yeah.
90s onward we start 110. It's because when then the tire is 19 mm.
Very
Don't forget.
thin.
I think that
Very narrow.
you will start with. That's why we always jokingly say that depend on the tire width that you experience. We know that how old are you. Because in the 90s all this is all 90 mm. Before that 80, 90, then after it come to 21. Then come to 23, then 25, now extreme 28.
28, yeah.
It's the volume. So that now, I think it will because 110 because you start at 21. I believe that your
21,
first at 21, right?
yeah,
21, 100 is okay one. Because you need a high volume because the tire is thinner. So but as you progress now, you're using what, 25, right?
25, but I still put 110.
Technically, you should lower your thing because of the volume. So you benefit is what they say is prevent bouncing because when you bounce, right, you lost wattage, lost momentum. But it's also but tire pressure is very personal one.
Yeah.
It's very personal one. And I tell you, ex rider all these things, the old rider is still pumping 100, 90 and above. But you must be careful is because especially hookless wheel, the new rim design, there is a pressure PSI limit. The wider you go, right, it's lower. You will realize that's why you recently you go to YouTube, you see a lot of trends that the rim break, burst, crack, all these things from internet. It's because they pump too high. I believe that now 80 is a maximum.
80 is so low. For tubeless lah, right? You're talking about or clincher?
No, for the
Hookless.
yeah, hookless.
This is hookless or?
No, this is not hookless. I believe that now so far I haven't come across the rim itself above 100 one. The old one no problem, you pump before because we are using aluminium wheel. Aluminium rim. So you better watch out in that way. So
But I think one thing is also one mitigant is also become very light
yes.
That I like to. But the thing is when I reduce.
But actually, technically, you should pump lower pressure so you don't bounce.
Correct. A lot of people always laugh at me They say I'm always bouncing, but I think it's I don't know I'm so used to it. I'm very old school, you know, very very old school.
It's about you like the feeling out because you have been riding in that kind of feeling. You always want to go back to that kind of feeling. But sometimes no harm trying. I'm the one who I like to try things. That's why I trying. So even with my weight about 76, I haven't extremely go down to 70 for 25.
What's the pressure on this?
This one is now I pump a bit higher. It's 78.
Wow, so low
78, 82.
Because
so actually front and back technically it's about 5 psi differences because your weight distribution.
Correct.
That's what they say.
Yeah. The front should be lesser than the back.
Yeah, about 5 only, 5 psi.
How are you liking the GP 5000 or you
Okay,
prefer other tires?
coincidentally, I know this is one of the safest tire, and everything is above average one. But you talk about this is not the fastest. I tell you.
Which one is the fastest?
To me, a few fastest one is the. Before then is Costa fast, but the fastest like the Cotton, Turbo Cotton. That one is fast, but if I ride, I think you ride also about 2 months change one. Because last about 1,000 only, and it puncture easily.
Yes.
And
it's a racing tire
the recently is I ride. Not say it's faster. I ride is a Pirelli Giro. That one P0. I ride that kind of thing. But it's weighing. You compromise. Why you make it? Because you make it right. When they make it right, the protection is lesser. The sidewall protection, the puncture protection is lesser. So it depends what you want.
Actually, which is true. I think the fastest tire I've tried is the S-Works Turbo, not the Cotton, the Turbo. But I think it came. I was riding at 23. Very funny one. Their size is not a 21.
No, 24, 26. I think
something like
that. Yes.
And the thing is, because it wears out so fast, it's really fast.
Yes, it's a very fast tire.
Yeah.
That's what they will do a race.
For racing, it's for racing.
This one you want to go fast, right? You take the TT, Continental TT, TT is very thin, very fast, and you see they only, I think the max is 23 only.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to Group Set Dura Ace 11 speed, the latest one. Please tell us your thoughts.
12 speed.
12 speed. Yeah. How do you like this? I mean, again, I'm trying to reference you as an old timer who tried different bikes. What do you think of the latest 12 speed now, Dura Ace?
Okay, if you talk about mechanical to Dura Ace to electronic, definitely a great improvement. That one you all know. So I think you are more interested in 11 speed Di2 and 12 speed Di2. Okay, you tell me fastest? Yes, it's fastest. It's faster, definitely.
Fastest in the shifting?
In the shifting, front and back is fastest. Fastest, but the faster, is it necessary? I will say, don't need. But it's a shock feeling. And why 12 speed? What's the 12 speed? Actually, the gear ratio, the lowest and the highest don't change. It's because it's still 11, it's still a 30 at the bigger cassette, bigger cork. It's still a 30.
It's in between, right?
It's an in between. So it's just like 11 speed, right? In general, if you talk about example of offhand, I cannot remember earlier. If you're using a 1128 cassette, the 1/10 increment from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. So you got 7, 6, 1/10 increment. What is this purpose? Is because you can maintain your RPM smoother. So you just jump a bit only. So you don't need to change your RPM just to maintain your effort or anything. That is the purpose. And when you go to even Shimano, their Di2, their advertisement, their video, they will offer now you have a 16. Why you have a 16? Because they put in a 16 here. So from now it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So you got 7/10 increment. So technically your cadence will be smoother. That's all. This is what they say. Because that's why a lot of people bang, or even Shimano bang, because people are asking for a 16. Old timer. Because 16, the one you feel from 15 to 17, a big jump. So you just like your cadence, you need to increase. So that's why they also even promote, say that there's a 16 now. So that is what I think it's a 16 if I'm not, or 17. So they increase the 1 teeth improvement. So that is what the choice speed make. All for only. So so technically, in terms of gear specting, is depend on you yourself. If you are good enough, you need to use in the middle. For example, you got 11 speed, you got 6 single increment, right? Single 1 2 increment. You should ride at the flat road. That's what my person. You should ride on flat. The kind of normal effort, your effort on flat, right? On the 1 2 3, third cassette. So when you downshift, right, it's still 1 crease improvement of 2 gear. When you upshift, right, it's still 3 gear increment of only 1 teeth. So your cadence technically will be smoother. But this is all best, unless you are so pro that you always maintain your cadence, you know exactly what you are. So this is what.
It's just mainly the cadence and the jump from the...
Yes, it's mainly it's a jump.
Okay. Then do you think it is necessary for, let's say for me, I'm running the old 11 speed, do I need the 12? I don't need it, right?
You have the money or not? No, it's about you value it worth or not. But tell me riding 11 speed, I told you right, when I came back from overseas, I came back here, I got no bike, I borrowed a 10 speed bike, I ride also happy. So the more important thing is you know what you want in the way that, right? But actually you talk about performance increase here, maybe 1%, 2%. The kind of feeling that 1 month down the road you will forget it because it's a sensational feeling. New thing is always good, right? So I will not say that good to change or never good to change. Is that if you from mechanical change to Di2, you have a joystick benefit. When you from 11 seat Di2 change to, if there are benefit, yes, but it's marginal and depend you like. So if you want it, you just go and get it. That's why a lot of people asking about Ultegra and Dura Ace.
Yeah.
It's the same choice speed, same time. So this is the year that they came out both together.
Right.
Last time they don't came out together.
Yeah. One thing is missing is the oversized pulley.
Oversized pulley, yes.
It's missing. Where is
It's on my the other bike. Right?
Oh, so you have it?
I have it.
You just ceramic speed?
No, no, it's a mechanical 11 speed, the steel bike.
I mean,
and your favorite one?
Is that, which one?
Absolute back.
Wow, so you got the hollow cage one?
Yes.
Oh my god. How is it?
That one is just that we want to try.
Aesthetic, right?
Actually, I like it. It's because it makes very quiet.
Oh, the noise.
The noise. Okay. Because you know why make it very quiet? Because there's a plastic whole thing inside there to damping out the sound.
Actually, when people tell me about the sound, right, I it's a very funny thing because when you cycle on the roads, the cars are so loud. Why you can't even hear the OSPW, right?
Maybe I cycle at. It's a feeling. It's just that everything is about your feeling, what you want, what you like. That's all. You tell me. Maybe now cannot. Last time I always tell people, I buy a new cycle. You want to start cycling, right? 105, aluminum frame, spare wheel. Last time 2,000-3,000 is good to go. You can cycle. Once you change our fitness, you and me no much different. When I got a 16,000 bike, but it depends on what you want to, what you want now, what.
It's just like
make
Ferrari,
you show. I won't say happy make you show you what you really want to look out for.
Yeah. Just like a Ferrari.
By now, I think it's the 2,000-3,000 bike you cannot find now. You probably 105, even a 105 bike is about.
I think 4,000-5,000.
4,000 already. That's right.
So do you believe OSPW should everyone get one or no? It's just for fun, aesthetics. Any performance benefit?
Performance benefit, I believe it has, but it's very marginal. Because, the money can put in better place. Maybe your bike speed will make you faster. Maybe you, even without money, you go and constantly train yourself right at the drop position, it will make you faster. But sometimes you put that one, it's not about make you faster or whatever.
Yeah. Last one is Hambini bottom bracket.
Yes.
You have this Hambini bottom bracket.
Hambini bottom bracket. A lot of people thought that Hambini sells so expensive. Actually, it's $500-600, depending on model, and it's conform is a ceramic bearing. No, Hambini is using steel bearing. What the Hambini bracket different is what? Is that the concept is that there's a cage inside there to align your left and right straight. So when you straight, your road is evenly. So you become smoother. That's all. So when you buy you pay for first time pay for $500-600. It's not about the bearing. Bearing you can buy off the shelf literally, but if you can find The bearing is the very good steel bearing. It's from NTN. He also said I use NTN one because NTN is a high grade bearing. High grade bearing. So they choose the best one. So but it's still one bearing is about $50 to $80. For steel bearing, considered very expensive. But that's the kind of bearing he use. But he don't believe in
Ceramic.
ceramic. Actually, ceramic bearing, what good is what? The old ceramic bearing they use, actually other people use, other industry use, is because it reduce heat generation. It reduce heat. The main purpose is reduce heat generating. So because your turbine engine is more than 10,000 RPM one, so the heat is generated very high. So they use ceramic bearing, all these things. But we all are maximum maybe 120, 130 thing. But it will improve, but it's also marginal. So in a way, that's why I make this bike 16,000. So this bike, I ride this bike honestly. You talk about I ride this bike and a bike with 5,000. I tell you, there's different, but different is not as much as a 1,000 bike and a 4,000 bike. So that's what you. That's why honestly here I tell people that once your bike hits 7.5 kg, every 100 gram you reduce, is probably the same. 100 gram is about $1,000. Correct?
Yeah.
It's about there.
Yeah.
But if you are a 9 kg bike, you want to reduce 1 kg, probably only $1,000 only. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Last one before we move on to Instagram question is, what do you not like about your bike?
What do I know right about what?
Yeah.
So far,
Any dislikes, or is you all happy?
at this moment it's okay lah.
Any more upgrades?
Any more upgrade Ready for this bike won't have any upgrade. Maybe the wheel
Okay.
What's the latest wheel they come with?
Yeah. Okay.
It's not about
Yeah.
performance It's that just want to try new thing that what.
We move on to the Instagram questions. If you guys have any questions, you can follow me on Instagram and you can ask me, submit your questions on Instagram. So George, a lot of questions. The first one is this bike really aero?
Yes, it's aero, but it's not optimum aero. It's because, you see, because this is 60, about 60 Optimum aero is just like Time Machine, Madon is hit because UCI, I think, believe now the acceptable is 80 because they have something. So if you really talk of pure aero bike, it's 80 optimum based on UCI. You only can max out with 80. So this is about 60. It's towards aero already.
Next question is, are you not worried that the seat stays is very thin?
Yes.
Are you worried that it's too thin that it might break?
Break it, right? Okay. You talk about
Actually, it's very thin.
everywhere as a carbon bike. Why you make it so right? It's because it's everywhere it will break on. It's whether you drop at the correct angle or not. If you drop angle that hit here, it will still break.
Yeah.
And I believe that when the R5 came out, I believe the R5, right? When doing one of the race, they broke this, they still race. Actually, this one, the purpose of this seat stay, the importance of this seat stay to support the whole back stress is less important now. But you will break, if you want to fall break, everywhere will break. Definitely. I will see bike, the head tilt, the stronger one also break because it break. The BB, definitely BB this area, right? Bottom bracket is the strongest. Sometimes you hit the correct side, hit here, also break. So carbon bike is like that.
Very fragile. Fragile but strong.
It's not fragile. It's strong at different angle for the purpose of angle. And steel bike, steel bike because it's round tilt. So it's all same. So it's a thing. Steel bike, the most you can do triple butted. The thinness you can go is, I think it's 0.3 mm, but this one I think less than 0.3 at certain area. So you can see the difference. So carbon bike is more at the optimum angle of the stiffness. So that's why you can make it very light.
Why do you put a saddlebag?
Saddlebag.
Nowadays, saddlebag not very popular already.
We are not pro. We don't have a bike support behind. I think we have a grab and all these things. But I still prefer the spare tire, spare inner tilt, and the pump will be inside here.
Why don't you just put in your back pocket?
Back pocket. I have a lot of things on my back pocket. So this way of advice, you have time, you look at all the training bike of all the pro rider. They still have pump, they still have saddle bag because they go out ride alone. So you want to continue out ride, you better carry style of thing. It's people, because we always look at pro racing, everything don't have one. Ride also don't have one.
But they don't know they got one car full of things.
No, when you sometimes Chris Froome ever post before his training bike, you can see one traditional long pump stuck down here, everything. Because you ride alone, you ride car support, you need to carry all this sort of thing.
You know, I've ridden with friends, they get a flat and they don't bring tires, they don't bring
Inactive,
tubes, you know, and I'm like, wow, you go cycling, you don't bring tubes, and I mean, these are essentials.
Take Grab, okay,
Yeah.
take Grab.
Yeah. You want to...
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. This question is very controversial. They say that this bike looks like the Sika, maybe because I posted the Sika video first. And I have to say, because I unboxed the Sika from Jack, the bike doctors, it looks 100% the same.
Yes.
And I think Factor first came out with this, then only Sika, right?
Yeah.
So I won't go any further. You all make your own judgment. What do you think of that? That people think your bike looks like a Sika. Why don't you just get a Sika while you get a Factor Austro?
Because I bought this at time. That's why when people tell me, this one or Sika I should get. I say, it's what your budget, what make you think of. So it's just like same old thing. It's just like, if you like Austro, you go and get Austro. You get Sika, you get Sika. I know Sika, now technically all bike design now is bounded by UCI rule. Must be have a diamond shape, must have certain angle, the trail, the head tilt, all this must have certain. So in order to race in the thing. If you want to check back to history, on the 90, there's a time that all the radical bike come out without seat stay. You can see that. Without seat stay, without chain stay, all this time. That's all make it really performance bike that go all out, no restriction. After that, UCI came in to restrict all these things because they want fairness. So that's why all the bike now, sure is the same one. That's why the job seat stay. Which bike now, which brand don't have job seat stay? I think left left only one or two.
I think the track in Honda.
In Honda is still curving, but it's still lower because it's shaped down. Actually, it's a drop seat stay. A lot of people never like, but it's a curving. Correct. So because they make it this one look like not drop seat, it's still dropping in a certain way.
One other thing to consider is resale value. Let's still talking about Factor versus a Sika, right? Because I think if you were to pay a premium for a Factor, you will still be able to sell it with not so much of a discount because of the brand and people know how authentic it is. Whereas Sika is, I think there's still the fact that it's made in China and it's a bit copying a Factor. So I think when you want to buy a new Sika and you were to sell it, right, it will be a much more discount. Do you believe so?
To me, honestly, is spend within your means what you like and what you buy a bike that you like. Don't buy a bike that people like. Because you asking your friend will tell you what he like. When you ask the one who like SL7, he will tell you, oh, SL7 very good, all these things, because he like SL7. Control all the ideas, see what you like, then your budget. Then tell me, average bike, all these things, Sika got his Sika value. You know that it's very. You tell me like different, I cannot tell you because I never ride a Sika before. And like this, and you tell me I haven't been for the past 3 years, I think I cannot count. I have changed 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes from F10. F10 is the last one. I never go for F12 because no stock. So I changed to BMC team machine, BMC time machine, then to this. In general, all the bike make me happy. And you tell me, all bike behave differently. It's what you want. Secondly, you tell me my speed increase, I tell you no. It's fluctuated still there. So that is a thing. So Sika got its own value. But if you have that kind of budget, only can afford a Sika, or you want to just spend that kind of money only for Sika, then just go for Sika. To me.
Factor has also another model called the Factor 1, right?
Yes.
So is this considered the all-rounder? And then,
okay, Factor 1 is the full aero bike, and the bike is heavy. above 8 kg.
That's the one where the down tilt has a hole, right?
Double. Yes. So that one heavy. So this one is. So HF Factor came out. They came out with O2 first. The O2 is the first bike. So after that they came out the one. The gravel one we don't care. Very stylish one to supplement the aero bike, because that time still have a trend that you need to have 2 bike, one aero, one climbing bike, right? There's a trend. You must see the trend. All the companies about the trend one. Then after that, now everybody go into one bike for all. That is so SL7 came out, one bike for all. Everybody came out. Now even I think Chori Imonda will replace the Modon already, because you see more of pro team will ride Imonda, because then that's why they came out. This is in between. They were quite in between. That's why I say that it's not 80, it's a 60. So that is how they compromise, and it's also what you like.
So do you think the Factor 1 is faster than this one? On flats, of course, because it's an aero bike.
I believe that although 80, Modon is definitely on flat faster than this.
Modon.
Serious. On flat, that means the same. But the problem is, the old bike, you need, this kind of bike, you need certain power to ride it. That definitely, if you, I ride the steam machine and the time machine. If I whack a time machine, definitely, if I above certain wattage, higher wattage at time, the time machine will gain more compared to the same wattage of a steam machine. If I want aero bike, you need certain power, but it's because why? Because it's heavy. It's like you're driving carry 8 kg, you get kind of power, and the 6 kg for long term. So that's all. In terms of aerodynamic, definitely the aero bike have more aerodynamic benefit on it.
Okay, I think
that's all.
That is the end.
Okay, can.
Thank you so much, George.
Okay, can.
You guys want to feature your bike, just DM me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
There's no going back. You stepped across